lovely people! Welcome to part 2 of my June book recommendations. If you haven't seen part 1, then click. I'm going to go here. Hopefully there'll be a thing. Go watch it, return, and there's not really much else to say, because we're just going to jump right back in. Enjoy!
Doobie 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 doo. Doobie 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 Sophie Vlogs.
Next up is Two Boys Kissing, which, again, gorgeous book. Cannot put into words how gorgeous this book is. I've never read any David Leviathan? Because for years I thought it was David Leviathan, but that is not true. But I've never read any of his books before, and this was my first one, and it was just gorgeous. It was just so nice, and really hit me, and it was just so good. I also read Anansi Boys by Neil Gaiman, which I really like Neil Gaiman. I just think he's great. He is, isn't he? American Gods was brilliant. I just loved everything to do with that. I really like ideas of, I'm really interested in mythology, so I really like ideas of gods, and I really liked that idea of how you believing in something gives it power, and how the power can wane if belief wanes, and all of that whole relationship type thing. Loved it. And I know this isn't really like a sequel, but it's set in the same universe, and it just continues like a plot thread. And this I just thought was great. I really liked it. And there's a bit in it where he passes, because it's Anansi the spider god, he passes a message on through spiders. And I said hello to a spider as a joke, and then for literally 2 months afterwards there were spiders everywhere, and I was convinced that I'd accidentally communicated with the spider god. I was really concerned. I was like, what have I done? I don't think I have. Who knows? My dad has been lending me a lot of his old books recently, so I got to read the Fionavar Tapestry by Guy Gabriel Kay, which is a fantasy trilogy, and it was fantastic. I really like Guy Gabriel Kay. I've read Tigana by him before, and that's a one-off fantasy book, which I so recommend. It's gorgeous. And the Fionavar Tapestry was it's everything I want from a fantasy series. It has, you have so many different plot lines going on, but they come together really well, and it never feels like there's too much going on. It has a really great exploration of shades of grey. I really like Arthuriana stuff, and there's a plot thread in it that ties into all of that, and I particularly enjoyed that part of it. But as a fantasy trilogy, it is gorgeous anyway. It doesn't pull punches. There was a lot of tears shed over this book, but it was just fantastic. And so if you like fantasy and you want a new trilogy to read, I'd recommend, actually, if you like fantasy, read Tigana first, because that's a one-off and it's brilliant. But I didn't read that in this time period, so... On to strictly Kindle books now. Kindle. Another book that I really enjoyed was Alice the Unseen, which was just really good. That's what all these books are, they're just really good. It reminded me a lot of Philip Pullman type things. It was, it's a computer hacker, and it's all to do with ideas of religion and coding as a way of interpreting myths and stories, and just all of these really interesting ideas. And it was just it's just such a good read, and it was great. That was good. Liked that a lot. Another brilliant book that I read in this time period is The Shop of the Fool by Nathan Filer, which is another one that I just can't put into words how good that book is. I literally can just say, read it, because it was so good, but I can't put it into words how good it was. It was just really good and kind of emotionally destroyed me. And it's one of those books where I just don't feel like I can comment on it, because I just feel like it was so good, and it's just I just don't feel like my voice is relevant to discussions in it, but I do want to urge everyone I meet to read it, which is hard if you can't tell people why they should read it. You just go, just read it, please. My friend also recommended to me Finnegan of the Rock by Marlena Machetta. I think that's her name, don't sue me if it's not. That was great. I've seen quotes about it on Tumblr for ages, and it always just sounded really good, and so I finally read the first one. I haven't seen any of the other two, so no spoilers, please. But that was so good. Again, it focuses on these people, and due to like magic and shit, their homeland is like closed to them. They can't get back into it. And so it's all about explorations of identity and belonging and how language ties into this, and it's just really good. Again, the romance plot of this book, just, I really love. I shipped them so very hard. And they're one of those asshole couples where they fight all the time, and you're like, why will you guys not admit that you're head over heels in love with each other? Why do you have to torture me like this? But yeah, it was great. Loved it. Two books that I read in this time period that have kind of become linked in my brain are Ask the Passengers and The Miseducation of Cameron Post, mostly because they're both YA books about a girl realising that she's gay, and then they take very drastically different courses, but for some reason they're just very linked in my brain, and they were both fantastic. As the Passengers was it's just like a really okay, I connected with As the Passengers more than I would have if I hadn't have read it exactly at the moment that I did read it. But because I read it at that moment, it just really tapped into stuff that I was personally like feeling and thinking myself, and so I just really connected with it, and it just was really good. But it was also a lot of fun. I liked the philosophy elements in it. That was really good. The Miseducation of Cameron Post was just gorgeously written, so immersive in... There was just so much there, but it was so easy to read at the same time, and you just really felt like you were there. Oh, just knocked my glasses off my face a bit there. But it was really, really good. I know some people don't really love the ending. I kind of did love the ending. I don't know if I'm the minority in here, but I just really liked... No spoilers, again, no spoilers whatsoever. However, personally for me, I found the ending very cathartic, and I found it very promising. It had hope. Beyond, beyond, beyond. It had possibility to it, and I just really liked that. I've probably missed out loads of books that I really loved during this time period, but these are all the ones that were on the top of my head that when I was like, I really want to do a video for this, I was like, pick up, pick up, pick up. Since I graduated, I have very much been reclaiming reading for myself. I've been buying a lot more books than I used to, because obviously I spend all my money on course books. I've been reading things that have just made me just really connect to them, and they've provoked very emotional reactions in me, and I've spent a lot of time staying up to very early moments in the morning to finish things, and it's been just fantastic. It's just been the most fun. And if you're someone who's recommended any of these books to me, thank you so much. You have improved my life drastically. If you would like to recommend books to me having watched this, please do, always, always, always. If you have read any of these books and you also love them, tell me you love them. We can just squeal over how much we love them. It'll be great. So yeah, these are just books that renewed my love of reading slightly, and so I thought, let's recommend them to the world. I hope you have a really lovely day. I hope you read some really, really good books in the future, and I just hope everything's peachy with you, because everything's peachy with me. Bye.